So, hey everyone, and welcome to our very first of the 5 interviews that we're doing in the lead up to International Women's Day. I'm Maeve, and I'm the producer of The Railway Woman, and this weekend I will be taking over our social media to share with you the amazing women we have on this project. So, thank you everyone for joining. First up on our interviews, we have Alice Young, and she's not only an actress starting off, but she's also our head of costume in the film. So we're going to have a chat with her today, and if you do have to drop off halfway through or anything, you can find the rest of our interview on IGTV, so you can always find that in our story. So I'm just going to add her now.
Hi, how are you?
Good. This is Alice. As I've just said, you're starting off as not only an actress, but you also work behind the camera, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
And so on The Railway Woman, you'll be head of costume. So firstly, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role as head of costume on this film production? Just some people might not know what it does and so forth.
Yeah. Hi, Millie, by the way. Yes. What I do is I have to source all the costumes and then make sure that the continuity of the costumes. I work with the script supervisor to make sure the continuity weight is continues throughout the shoot. I just chose to be wardrobe because it kind of calls to like the producer in me, like being organized and stuff, because if I couldn't be an actor, I'd want to be a producer. So it kind of like I have to organize everything, and it makes sense in my head. Yeah. So I like it. Yeah.
And in terms of organization side of head of costume, but I've worked with you, and our directors worked with you quite a bit, so you have quite a creative role as well in terms of designing the costumes and choosing what everybody wears. And how do you think that kind of interlinks with your experience as an actress?
Well, I think it helps with like trying to imagine what a character would like look like and what they would wear, because if I've been in the actor's shoes, like it helps in that sense. And obviously choosing like color palettes and things, it's creative in that way, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. So moving on a little bit, and I think you've just kind of touched on this question a little bit, but I'd love for you to expand a little bit. So in terms of, you have a lot of different roles that you've tried out on set, but what are your aspirations in the film industry?
So I want to be an actress because I just love being on camera. I'm just a bit of an attention seeker, so I just love it. But like, producing is something that I'm really good at. Like, I'm weird. I like to do paperwork, and I like to sort things out and make everything look nice. And yeah, and I've always gotten good grades for all my paperwork and things. I have done directing in the past.
Yeah.
But it's not. I do love it, but I also find it quite stressful because like trying to imagine the shots in my head, it just doesn't go. Unfortunately, I have to be there on set to look at the camera to see the shot, otherwise I just can't plan it. I just find it hard. So yeah, no, acting and producing.
But actually, talking about your role as producer, just so anybody who watches this now or later, is there anywhere that we can find any of your films that you've produced before? Because I'm sure people would love to have a look at like the previous stuff that you've done.
Yeah, I actually have a website, but I haven't actually produced anything since. Well, I've in the middle of producing my dissertation, but in first year I produced a music video. But I've got 2 things I directed on my website, which is in a link in my bio. So I've got 2 things I've directed on my website. But I am in the middle of producing my own sitcom for my dissertation, which I'm hoping to film in June.
Amazing. And I will, for anybody watching, put a link to your page so everybody can go check that out after, because we love up and coming.
Awesome.
Okay. So next question. What kind of drew you to working on the Railway Woman? Like working?
Well, Toby came to me, I think, last summer. I can't remember. I think it was September time, because it was when we came back. and
Mhm.
he was like, and he showed me all his like concept art and things, and I just thought the story was really interesting. I'd never seen a student attempt it before, so just was sort of interested to see how it would pan out with the train and everything. But um, yeah, to be honest, I just like if someone wants me to be on their set, I just kind of want to take it because I just want the experience. And I just love the buzz of
Yeah,
the set. So, because I went on
yeah,
set today for the first time in ages, and it was just like so exciting. So, um,
yeah,
yeah, I definitely miss the set buzz.
yeah, absolutely. I think that is a good point as well. Like in terms of taking every opportunity that you get, like I feel like it's quite important for anybody starting off in this industry, but like especially for women and like having to take
Yeah,
opportunities so you can get like whatever experience so that you can put it on your CV and
yeah,
so forth. Um,
yeah.
my next question, what piece of advice would you give to women and femmes who are going into this industry? Or like what piece of advice have you been given that you have found super useful?
Um, I think I think it's one that's been said a lot, but it's just like things just don't get handed to you on a plate. You have to go for it.
Yeah,
And I've seen so many people like just go through uni and just not volunteer to be on films and stuff. And I've been doing that since first year. I've been runners on dissertation films, second year films, and then
yeah,
obviously got myself up to head of wardrobe um,
yeah,
this year in my final year. And I just think you just need to take every opportunity you can get because you just never know where it'll lead, who you'll
absolutely.
meet, and I mean even at uni, I mean just be nice to people because like you never know where they're gonna end up, kind of thing. That's like the one thing that I live by with, and I hope that it will help me get into the industry. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think that's a great point is taking every opportunity. And I think that that's something that like most filmmakers should live by. Um, And okay, so this is the last question I have. I do have a couple of questions that a couple of people sent in. And also, if
Okay.
anybody does questions, just feel free to write them at the bottom and I'll try and get through to as many as possible as well. So feel free to do that.
Okay.
But yes, so my last question, in terms of female empowerment, what would you say is your favorite film or favorite femme or female character?
So the one thing I live by is I don't know if you've seen it, but Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana.
Oh, that,
Because I used
yeah,
to love princesses as a child. That one came out when I was about 10 or 11. Anyone who knows
yeah,
me knows I'm obsessed with her. And it just like I saw her and she achieved her dream by also getting like by also finding love, and like I would love that for myself, being able to achieve my dream but also be able to have like love in my life kind of thing.
yeah.
um and yeah, that's mostly, yeah, I base a lot of my values off that movie. I love that movie.
I have to say, I'm like a little bit. I like Disney, but I'm not a huge Disney fan. But I would say that is one of
Yeah,
my favorite princess, and I don't love a lot of princess movies.
yeah,
So
it's
I
incredibly
think like
underrated.
I think it's definitely a good one to show girls. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love that answer. That's great. And also, I just saw a couple of people joined. Anybody who just joined, if you do have any questions for Alice, like feel free to write them at the bottom, and we'll try and get through to them. The question I have sent in, this was from Rufus. Rufus wants to know, this is kind of similar to one of our other questions that we had, but Rufus wants to know what about the plot of The Railway Woman, without giving any spoilers, of course, kind of drew you to, and what do you enjoy about it?
Um, I was intrigued by well, he named his main character Alice like me, so that automatically intrigued me. Um, like the musical aspect as well. I was really interested to see that pan out because like I'd never seen anyone attempt to film a musical. Well, I've seen people there was Boreana in The Year Above Me, who,
Mm.
well, 2 years above me, who did a dance movie, but I haven't seen like people attempt to do musicals. So, and I do
Yeah.
love musicals, so that sort of drew me to
Yeah.
it as well, kind of thing. And also
Of
the
course.
representation of autism as well. I thought
Yeah.
that was great as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, just double checking that I have no other questions at the moment. Yeah. I've gotten through all my questions. Um, yeah, is there anything else that last thing, unless anybody else who's joined us has any questions? Um, last thing to say, is there anything that you would like, anything else in terms of being a female on a set, or being, and the, how you've anything that you pass on to any other girls going on to set?
Um, I think that, like, to be honest, at the uni, I've never really had a problem with anything like misogyny or anything. Everyone on my course, I feel like they respect me and they don't look down on me or whatever for being a woman.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm not really like Marjana. Luckily, my lecturer Marjana, she's a script supervisor in the industry, and she helped me get like my first directing role as a girl. Because like but
Yeah.
yeah, she's always been pushing me to go for the like higher roles and stuff, and she's always tried to push me out of acting because she wants me to go into film.
Yeah.
um yeah, no, they've always been. I haven't really had an issue with
No.
it just yet, but
Yeah.
and I hope I won't have an issue with it later on. I know that things are changing and things. Um,
But that's
yes.
no. I think that's a great point to leave it.